Hey guys, welcome back to Dark Souls 3. In the last part, we did a little bit more backtracking in the Undead Settlement. We met up with Sigvard of Katarina. We got a few more items and rings, and we got access to a few more NPCs. In this episode, or part, whatever we want to call it, we're gonna go through here, this new area called the Road of Sacrifices. It is one of the shortest areas in the game. The end of the area is pretty much right through that gate over there. So honestly, you could run through this whole area in about 5 seconds if you wanted to. But there are a lot of good items here that we're going to want to pick up. So, or at least I'm going to want to pick it up. Because some of the items here are pretty useful. As you can see there, Great Combustion is very effective against these mutated gargoyle things. This one will spit poison at you, so watch out for that. And then if you come over here to where this poison spitter is, you can actually drop down to get this little secret item here. Wow. I fell a good 10 feet, and I lost all my health. Man, I missed the fall damage in Demon Souls. Fall damage in this game is so much more unforgiving. It's just that I'm not used to it because I've been used to play Demon Souls for the last few months since it came out. Yeah, that's rough, man. Well, I assure you I won't make that mistake again. Because I'm going to fully heal myself this time. There we go. You can get some Brigand Twin Daggers there. There are dual-wield weapons in this game, which are pretty cool. Okay, oh shit. Hold on a second. I'm just trying to, like, show off shit right now, and the game just keeps dropping down enemies from out of nowhere. Right on top of me. Alright. I think now we might actually just skip most of everything. Just because I'm getting sick of doing this. I honestly might just record another video tonight too. Just because I feel bad, like this video might end up being this whole area too. But anyway, yeah, you can get dual-wield weapons in this game, so it's pretty cool. Right here you'll find another, like, NPC enemy type. Using a butcher knife, which is a weapon from Dark Souls 1. Oh my god. Alright. I don't think the butcher knife has any, like, anything special about it. But let me actually see. Oh, it does. Good. So yeah, it's a lot like the butcher's cleaver from Demon Souls. in that every time you hit an enemy with that weapon, it restores a little bit of your health. Conversely, because it has that unique effect, it is not a very strong weapon otherwise. Weapons with unique effects like that tend to have pretty bad, like, scaling and shit, so... It's definitely good for the early game, but I don't know if I would use that in the late game. Might not be a good idea. But anyway, we're going to come down here. There's only one more section to this area that I would like to check out, because it has, I believe, a tome for more miracles. Not that we're ever going to use miracles, although I suppose nothing would stop me from using miracles, since I have to level my faith anyway to increase my damage with pyromancies. So you just drop down here, and you can fight a pregnant dog in this cave. I know, it sounds weird, but that's literally what it is. A pregnant undead dog. Right there. It's kind of gross, not gonna lie. But here you can get Morn's Ring. That's basically like the Great Swamp Ring, but it gives you more miracle damage instead. And then you can get the Braille Divine Tome of Karim, which when you give to the Arena of Karim in Firelink Shrine, she will sell you more miracles. So that's pretty nice too. Just make sure that the Divine Tome that you're giving her doesn't insinuate that there's dark magic in it. Because if you give her something with dark magic, it will corrupt her. And you'll lose access to her shop. Because she will disappear. Alright. Got a hollow gem there. I might be wrong about this, but I believe a hollow gem will make your weapon do more damage based on how hollow your character is. And that's another stat we'll get into in a little bit here. Actually, we might as well get into it right now, but first let's meet up with these two.
Oh, hello. How do you do? I am Anri of Astora, unkindled like you. This is Horace, a friend and travelling companion. Are you too in search of the Lords of Cinder? We are well along the road of sacrifices. Below us is the Crucifixion Woods. Beyond the flooded woods lies Farron Keep, home of the Undead Legion. Further yet is the Cathedral of the Deep. We seek the Cathedral, home of the grim Aldrich. We may go our separate ways now, but we are both seekers of lords. The next time we cross paths, one may find the other in a time of need. May the flames guide your way.
So, Henri of Astora here, and her traveling companion Horace, who all he really does is grunt at you. It's kind of weird, but yeah. Henri and Horace there are two very important NPCs for a number of quest lines that I can't even like begin to describe to you, since there's so many different paths to them. But essentially they are another key component to you deciding like what ending of the game you want, and they both have very interesting quest lines, and I'd recommend you look it up because it goes pretty deep. Here's another NPC here.
You're an unkindled, aren't you? I am Cirrus of the Sunless Realms, former servant of the divinity. Duties we each bear, but one's duty is a solitary affair. I doubt we've much to gain from fraternization. Blessing of the moon upon your journey.
And this is Ceres of the Sunless Realm. She's another NPC with a quest line. I don't remember if it's her quest line or Henri's quest line. But there are certain NPCs with quest lines that conflict with each other. So for example, if you do something with another NPC, it might lock you out of doing her quest line. So just be on the lookout for shit like that, because so you don't like lose access to them and all that. Here's Yoel of Londor, who we rescued in episode 2 or 3, I believe. He said he can provide you services in Firelink, so let's see what that is.
Oh, our champion of Ash, welcome home. This pilgrim, with a debt in death, hardly deserves to behold this divine flame. And I never would have, had you not taken me into your service. I thank you dearly for this, and assure you of my leal service.
Alright, so Yoel of Londor is a merchant. He will sell you spells and shit. But that is not the point.
Then shall we begin, bearer of the dark sign? Let your true strength shine.
Yoel will allow you to level up to 5 times with him periodically throughout the game.
Be safe.
And every time you level up with him, the level ups are free, by the way, but every time you level up with him, he will give you it'll basically inflict hollowing upon you, which is another thing you need for a different ending in this game. I don't recommend you do that if you don't want the hollowing ending, because the only way to reverse the hollowing that he gives you is to give the Firekeeper like 40,000 souls. And it can be kind of a pain in the ass to get rid of, so I would not recommend you do that unless you're looking for that ending to the game. But yeah. And here we have Grey Rat, who's also made his way to Firelink.
Oh, hello, you're back. And in one piece. Well, now it's time I do my part. Whatever trinket you need, speak up. Just don't ask me where I got them.
And here we can give him Loretta's bone to let him know that she died. But before you do that, check out his shop, because for a little bit after you give him Loretta's bone, you will not be able to access his shop, because he will basically be in mourning for Loretta. So yeah, he's got some pretty decent weapons, armor, and shields here. I think I might actually buy this kite shield, because it at least has 100 physical reduction. And I'll buy the buckler, because having a parry shield could be useful too. Well, let's give him Loretta's bone.
Heavens, she was already dead. Thank you. I'm not surprised, though. Almost a relief, really. You can keep the ring as, well, a little trinket of thanks, I suppose. Goodbye.
Oh, this place is
Yeah, you can almost hear like the pain in his voice as he tells you, like, oh, what a relief that she's dead. It's obvious he's like faking his emotion.
wasn't it?
Yeah. This game has a lot of tragedy to it.
Pretty.
But anyway, with all that out of the way, I'm so sorry. It's pretty much taken up like half the episode. But there's a lot of stuff to show off in this game. A lot of stuff that's just really, like, interesting from a lore perspective, and also interesting from a gameplay mechanic perspective. So yeah. After you speak with Henri and Horace, they'll leave. Go off on their little quest to find Aldrich, who is one of the Lords of Cinder that we must defeat. And in this area, you'll find is really annoying, like tree trunk spear carrying enemies. It can do a lot more damage to you than you might think. And the reason I'm not even going to bother using an Ember is because this area in particular has people invading in it all the time. And if I am in an Embered form, we are probably going to get invaded a ton. I don't imagine we will survive. Yeah, those guys do a lot of damage. I don't really want to waste any more mana. I might die if I don't. Fuck it. Alright, might as well switch my shield to that kite shield I bought too, so I can actually block their moves. There we go. Now we actually have a good shield. What the fuck? Dog literally went through the rock. Alright. And coming through, there are a lot of useful items in this swamp. I recommend you go through like this whole area and get all those items because they're very good. Well, most of them are good, anyway. I won't say they're all good. And that's basically like a discount chained ogre from Sekiro. You can kill them pretty easily with great combustion just by spamming it in their face. Uh-oh. Yeah, these enemies do have a grab attack. Watch out for that. Unlike me. There we go. Just wanted to come over here so I could show off another interesting little area in this level. A Black Knight. If you're familiar with the Souls series, like Dark Souls 1, Dark Souls 2, you'll be very familiar with these enemies. Black Knights are not easy, in the least. As you can see there, I did practically no damage to him. My fire does do a lot more damage, which is interesting because I'm pretty sure their armor is supposed to have a lot of fire resistance. But I guess not. Whatever. Oh no, yeah. You don't want to get hit by these guys, they will fuck you up. This one in particular is using a great sword weapon, so yeah. If you have to cheese him, cheese him. There is no shame in cheesing an enemy like that this early in the game. Because they are not easy. And over here you can get a Pharaon coal. Coals are like I guess in Demon Souls it would be like giving the blacksmith the searing demon soul, or in the other Souls games it'd be like giving them embers. Basically, every time you give the blacksmith a coal, it will enable you to do more infusions on your weapons. You don't have all the fusions available to you from the start, obviously. This is another enemy type I was not looking forward to fighting. Giant crabs. Yeah. They suck. Another enemy with a pretty big hitbox, but you can stagger them fairly easily, and then riposte them for massive damage. Oh man. That's weird. I have the fucking Chloranthy ring, and my stamina still took like 20 seconds to regen. But yeah, for killing him, you get the Great Swamp Ring, which is what a Pyromancer already starts with. But if you want to use Pyromancy, but you don't want to start as Pyromancer, then fighting and killing that crab is pretty important. Just do more Pyromancy damage. And over here, you can get a Pyromancy Tome. Your first Pyromancy Tome. That will let you buy more Pyromancies from Cornyx. So that's definitely a very big must. I think we're actually going to go back to the bonfire to get our healing items back. Actually, you know what? No. We're going to go to the next bonfire. And even though this game has been out for a very long time, there are still a lot of people that don't know that there is another bonfire in this swamp. I'm going to show you guys how to get to that in case you didn't know. Yeah, these mushroom guys are pretty easy. They just spit poison at you. So yeah, if you want to get that next bonfire, just come up through here on the left side. Up around through these trees. Oh, whoops. I went the wrong way. I'm just trying to avoid getting hit by these guys at the same time. Just come, like, right up over here. And the bonfire is sort of just in this little grove here. Between all these trees. It's kind of hard to spot. I didn't actually know this bonfire was here on my first playthrough. I totally missed this one on my first playthrough. Alright, now we'll rest. And we're good to go through the rest of this level. Let's explore, shall we? Oh, at least I can 3-hit these guys. Where the fuck did that dog come from? Alright. Okie dokie then. Now, if you find that bonfire, I recommend you come this way first, because there are a few useful items over here that you might want to get before you move on to the next area or a boss fight. Get there an Estus Shard. Get there an Ember. And we got another big chained ogre look-alike to fight. We'll restore our mana and we'll do the same thing to this guy. It really is that easy. But yeah, right over here is an Estus Shard, so that's obviously something you'll want to get before like anything else. And then right over here is another way to get back into the swamp, so you can get some of these items if you want. There's no real point to fighting these tiny crabs, because for the most part they won't even bother you. They're kind of harmless. Oh shit. I forgot this guy was in here. But hey, we killed him. Here you can get a Sage Ring, which we're actually going to use that ring. The Sage Ring will shorten the amount of time it takes for you to cast a spell, and that applies for sorceries, miracles, and pyromancies. All of the above. So that's definitely something I highly recommend you get. Because obviously now, yeah, we can obviously cast that much faster now. So it's a pretty big help. Of course, I had to waste all my mana to show that to you guys, but that's fine, because I don't really care. We'll get our mana back. Coming through here, it's a little crumbled old building. Ow. There's a guy up here that can shoot soul spears at you. He's like a sorcerer. Do a little plunging attack on him if he falls down. Easy enough to take care of him. Drop down on this ledge. Get yourself another item. Yeah, there's a lot of different nooks and crannies in this level with items in them. I suggest you explore all these nooks and crannies, because you never know if you might find an item that you like. And maybe you want to use it in your playthrough. I don't know. But a lot of it is useful. The Golden Falcon Shield, of course, is not useful, though, because look at those block stats. I mean, what the fuck even is that? Yeah, I think that shield is actually good at parrying spells. Obviously parrying is a thing in these Souls games, but what a lot of people don't know is that in this game you can parry spells. Someone shoots like a soul arrow at you, you could parry that shit if you time it right. There's the Fallen Knight outfit. I actually really like the Fallen Knight set. I think it's like really cool looking. So yeah, but I'll obviously keep my mirror armor on because that's like my fashion Souls. At least for now. Yeah, we've explored a lot of this level so far. We're making progress. Got a lot of the items here. I don't know why I'm killing small crabs. I don't want to deal with the big one. I'm good, thanks. Oh my god. Oh my god. Go away. Alright, I just want to get away from him. Come over here and get this item. I think we're going to try to go back to that bonfire. But not before we get another NPC. This episode might go on a little long, but that's just because... That's just because I don't want to leave off with nothing really getting done in this episode. What the fuck? I tried to lock onto him, it wouldn't let me. That spell that he's using is called Pharaon Dart. If you're interested in being a sorcerer, the Pharaon Dart spell can be pretty useful for the early game. But it's probably another one of those spells I would not recommend you use in the late game. There are a lot of spells in the early game that are just very terrible in the late game, unfortunately. Over here you can find another crystal lizard. I'm definitely gonna get him. A crystal gem. I don't remember what crystal gem infusion does, but I'm sure it's pretty decent. Crystal lizards in this game, unlike in Demon Souls, do not get staggered. Really. They don't really get staggered that much when you hit them, so... If you're chasing after a crystal lizard, I hope you've got, like, better... At least a decent amount of, like, damage on your weapon so you can kill it fast enough. But right here's another NPC.
Well, this is unexpected. I don't often have visitors. What do you want? This is my study that you've happened upon. If you haven't any business, I've reading to get back to. How intriguing.
And yeah, this is another
well.
NPC.
Indeed, I am a source. However, what clearly so that in the well, very well. I am
This is Orbeck of Windheim. Another NPC that will join Firelink Shrine, and he will sell you sorceries. So you sort of have an NPC for all the different like combat things in this game. Which is good. You need a certain amount of intelligence to make him come back to Firelink Shrine with you, unlike the other NPCs. You need to have a high enough intelligence or he will not come back with you. And he will also ask you to make a promise to him to learn all of his sorceries, which is another little thing that you can do. Sort of like his quest line. If you learn all of his sorceries, then he will give you, like, rings and other items as a way of saying thanks. So yeah, that's another NPC I recommend you get if you can. If you don't have high enough intelligence, obviously you won't be able to do it though. I think the minimum intelligence you need is 10. So just keep that in mind and it should all be good. But anyway, guys, another episode I'm gonna have to cut off here. Sorry again. I know you're probably getting tired of hearing me say, oh, it's not productive enough, but I don't know. I guess I just feel bad because this game is much larger than Demon Souls, so there's a lot more that's going to probably have to go on between each episode and each boss that I fight. But nevertheless, I hope you guys enjoy it, and I'll see you in the next one.